Alrighty, round two on the draw, and good hand. Our opponent is also mulliganing, which is pretty good. Just some dudes, some pump, some wins. Some dudes, some pump, some wins. Oh, that's a good dude. Get in here, dude. Also kind of works. Oh my, that's a good dude. There's a good dude. This guy knows dudes. Interestingly, he has to exert this to get through our mighty 1-1. Man, this card is broken. Just wow. I mean, my guy is a 4/4 that gains life, but he pales in comparison. Would have been nice to have up Spidery Grasp. Fortunately, we don't, because any sort of untapped shenanigan here is pretty blowout-ish. Let us initiate the initiate, because this allows us to get through with our exemplar next turn if we find ourselves facing down a blocker. Unfortunately, this Ceradon is actually going to be tricky to cycle. Okay, our opponent does nothing. I think we just attack with both again. Since our opponent didn't do anything last turn, and chances are that didn't change this turn. Alright, I was thinking of this Vizier, but it doesn't really even punish us that much. Just a medium amount. And I will keep playing my stuff. Okay, we won't kill the cat. They already killed a different cat in standard, so keep the cats alive where we can. Alright, now things are going to get awkward if we continue hitting land drops. We were fine on 2 for a little while, but we really need some land now. On the plus side, we get to gain more life. We're just going to take that. We could double block, but I mean, our opponent in theory doesn't have anything, but I mean, if they do, it's really bad, so Scarab Feast is not really a good card, especially in 3-color aggro. Okay. Land is good, by the way. Land is real good. So I think we just attack here. We're kind of immune to punishment. Again, if our opponent blocks there or there, we don't really care. If our opponent blocks there, we don't really care. I think we just trade here, actually, because our pump should be able to find something better. Alright, let's load up the exemplar some more. Make sure our antelope is unscathed. Yeah, this hasn't been that bad for us. I mean, our exemplar has kind of gained us a lot of life this game. And exerting is pretty slow when you don't have untap effects and such. Alright, Manticore. Pretty good. That definitely warrants a pump spell of some kind. Or possibly an electrify. Probably a pump spell though, while opponents tapped out if they are inclined to allow us. Would be so good as to block one of our creatures, thank you, sir. If you would be so kind. And we can cycle the Ceradon. Although, at this point, we're not even sure if we want to cycle the Ceradon. Alright, so we can't do this, otherwise we would probably just do this. But we can't save our exemplar with just that. Okay. This exemplar has gone through a lot of trials. He has felt a lot of pain this game. Many -1/-1 counters. I wonder if I should cycle this Ceradon. I suppose it kind of depends on what our opponent does this turn. Just keep taking these hits, I suppose. Alright. Or I think we'll wait a turn for now. Alright, I kind of wish I cycled it. Go for the pump plan, since now this works. Alright, Ceradon gets to redeem himself and be cycled, and we're set up to electrify this before it untaps. I mean, that was great trade for us. Even though our opponent's still at 20 and we're at 10, we're still kind of doing well. We're doing alright. We're doing okay. Kind of annoying. But not a huge issue. I think we start off by attacking, seeing what our opponent does. Alright, full power exemplar. The dream. So he blocks both. So annoying. I think I just play 2 creatures rather than electrify this. Why not just take 10 glory hits? Glory hits. Interesting. Would have been better to use that on the glory bound initiate probably at some point. Alright, we're just gonna get rid of it now. And now our opponent has a 2/2 and 2 cards. So we should be favored here. We're not even that afraid of a flyer, which would otherwise be pretty good against us. Alright, Hyena Pack is fine. Canyon Slough. Shouldn't have played that out either, probably, considering he has no cards in hand and a bunch of mana. Trade the Hyena for the Exemplar so we can get through with our Kudu and other friends in future turns, assuming he wants to trade. To double block. Alright. And just dump our hand. I mean, these Minotaur sure shots are gonna look real good now that the game has gotten to a point where we can pump them up. And we're probably just not cycling Sandworm unless we're under extreme circumstances because we're just 2 lands away from casting it. Alright. Swing with the squad, since we gotta punch through this eventually, and these trades aren't that bad, no matter how our opponent blocks. Alright, actually shouldn't have attacked with Bitterblade Warrior in retrospect, considering that it just trades with the Duelist and we don't even get it in with the Minotaur. This is a trippy card. You don't usually see that type of effect. I think he stacked his blocks wrong though, unfortunately for him. Alright, maximum dudes. The dude plan is back. Is he not embalming? Alright. Embalm. Evolving Wilds. Ooh, Croc. Hickory Dickory Croc. So how is he blocking with True Heart? If I attack... I think I just leave back the Harsh Mentor. And then let him kill my warrior. Block there, take 4. Maybe shouldn't have attacked with warrior at all. And still have a Sandworm for backup. There's not really many wraths in this format. Dust Dawn, Sweltering Suns, neither of which, well, I guess Dust Dawn would actually get our opponent back a pile of stuff. But it would be slow. Interesting. If he cracks Evolving Wilds, he takes 2 damage. And sure. Okay. No changes. Don't mess with perfection. Which is why you shouldn't mess with me. I mean, we could bring in a land, but this all seems good. I don't even have to look at it. It all seems great. Heaven and Earth is like an emergency reset button. Or even just earthing for one can probably clear out like a glory bringer or something. And there's plenty of white flyers and such. Plenty of random flyers in the format. This card is weird. This card would make more sense if the gods were enchantments. I tell you what. Then you could get a god and another creature. I think it's just thematically wrong that all the gods aren't creatures, really. Since they were in Theros, you gotta keep the enchantment god train going. Alright, good banter, good banter. Opponent plays first. Mulligans. Not completely unsurprising, considering he's in 3-color aggro deck. Alright, there's the fixing. I mean, in theory, this card is good somewhere. It just costs a lot of mana to get going. If it only cost 1 for its first ability, 1 in tap, it would probably be really good. Alright, forests are fine, since we have a foresty hand, a green hand. Alright, perfect. Exemplar is going to do a lot of work, I imagine, this game. Considering we have ways to remove counter in Quarry Hauler and ways to put more counters on them. Alright, there's Tormenty Voice, which isn't a terrible draw, even though we can't cast it yet. Alright. I think I Kudu itself because I can just Quarry Hauler it off. I mean, normally I would put it on the Exemplar because Exemplar can get counters off himself, and we have Pump to make sure he can get through. Alright, Cartouche. Solidarity. The pyramid is almost built, I guess, is what you would say. Pyramid is almost built. Yeah, we'll just attack in. There's not much our opponent can really do here to punish a Spidery Grasp. Unfortunately, we can't Quarry Hauler off the counter first. Alright. He's going for it. It's not gonna work. There goes everything. So, I mean, we're probably holding on to this forest until we can discard it to Tormenting Voice as it stands, because we don't need this mana. See if our opponent has anything. No. Nope. I mean, we could play around Dusk Dawn by keeping the counter on the Kudu if we wanted to play the Quarry Hauler, or we could just not play Quarry Hauler. The question is, are we enough ahead that we want to play around Dusk Dawn? Probably not, I would say. Remove. Alright, the opponent might have the Vizier here. Alright, at this point their only out is really Dusk Dawn or something. I suppose they have a lot of mana now, so they could do something crazy. But now we have enough pressure with this Quarry Hauler that our opponent is likely to just be dead very soon. So Pyramid can add, fixes their mana and ramps. It's just 1 mana Lotus. What's that one called? The 5 mana Lotus? It's some kind of Lotus. It's a good Lotus. It's a 5 mana permanent Lotus, Black Lotus. What's that Lotus in Magic called? That iconic Lotus card? It's actually really weird that it's named Black Lotus when black is like a type of color in the game. Makes no sense, really, when you think about it. Let's start by tormenting, since we have lethal with Spider Grasp. Alright. Those who serve. Do I even want to cast it here? Yeah, let's go for it. If they have Vizier or something to stop the camel. Actual something. Impeccable timing. Okay, I was trying to think what does 3 damage. That was the wrong one to play it on. Should have missed out on 2 damage there. Because, I mean, our opponent was doing that to the Quarry Hauler no matter what. Oops. I was thinking if he had Vizier, it would be better to have him blink the Quarry Hauler than resetting our exemplar here. Alright, I think we're electrifying, because then our opponent has no good blocks on the board. Jeez. It's actually really good. Alright, opponent crawling back into it. They're almost out of cards though. I think my mistake this game was thinking too much about Dusk Dawn. That is a very good card though. Alright, back to being tiny. Opponent has 3 cards, 2 of which are for sure not lands, and 1 he drew. It's an Archfiend. Alright, these are not the cards you want in your hand against Archfiend. We may have lost. We may have lost. If we don't draw Heaven, Earth, Heaven, Earth. Alright. Indestructible. Come on. Hello? 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 This would have been a lot better if we had have played out our dudes, because we would have lethal right now. Alright, do I want to Heaven right now to prevent our opponent from drawing a cycler? The YOLO play is to play both of these. I think that's too YOLO. I mean, we should be good again, thanks to this draw, and our opponent not having a cycler. Like, the only real issue is this at the moment. Good draw. Well drawn. Alright. It's not very good. It's not very good. So, dumping the hand against a creature isn't that great. Because actually, I think what we want to do here is just play out 2 of our things, because this still threatens lethal if our opponent doesn't have anything, and that way we can still earth without killing our cat. Alright, so our opponent needs something good. I mean, a creature here is actually just really awkward for us, though. Alright, that's a good start for us. Land is good for us. Doing nothing is good for us. That does nothing for us. Alright, we've got to go for it. Exert, exert. Exert. Alright, no nothing. No funny business. Alright, that's funny. Funniest of business. Yeah, it makes sense that our opponent did have something based on that they were mana screwed, but I still think we need to go for it. Alright. There goes everyone. So we could play these out and then, yeah, I'll put all the counters on the Vitalist. Then pump means we win. Alright. Alright, so no creature from our opponent, please. And something good for us. Man, this Seraph is owning us. Even a flyer. That is just disrespectful. I just hold back for the time being. Sandworm wouldn't be terrible. Okay. Two sure shots. I think we wait, because if our opponent continues playing out things, then we want to be able to Earth. Okay, Sandworm. I think I'll do this. Stops that from hitting, which seems good. And doesn't necessarily die to an earthquake. Okay. Opponent might not know that has reach. No. Okay. Earthquake looks pretty good right now. Or maybe if we draw land with Sandworm instead. Actually, I'll just wait on everything. Actually, sure shotting makes sense. Ooh. Okay. Big old worm. Alright. Alright, opponent's gonna need something good here. Otherwise we're gonna be able to Earthquake, keep these, get rid of everything except this and this. Alright, that's not exactly it. This isn't lethal. Earthquake, MVP. So yeah, only one of these gets through. We can pump it twice. So I think I wait. Actually, I guess I should have Tormenting Voiced first. Ooh. Okay. So opponent needs something right now. And we can actually attack really effectively into the Seraph. Oh, right, they have this guy to embalm, which is actually really annoying. It's also really annoying. Really annoying. Alright, I think I have to attack. Because in theory we can protect most of our guys, except the one that's gonna die to the scorpion. What I wouldn't give for a stinging shot on this. I suppose that wouldn't even really solve the issue of it just blocking forever. Oh my god. That is a card. Alright, I need my other greater sandworm. Now, this time guaranteed. Nothing can stop me now. There's literally no card in the history of Magic that could keep me from having lethal the next turn. Except a creature with more than 2 power. What are the chances? 1,000,000 to 1. 1,000,000 to 1. Oh my god, these sandworms are so good. This was a very strange game. We started out so strong and then weird things happened. Can't stop the worms. GG's. Worms for the win. What else do we even have in our deck that did anything? Nothing. Nothing did anything except worm, so saved, dug out, saved by the worm.